Assalamu alaikum, welcome to Adventure to Noor. Round pushpin walking with the Martyrs of Uhud, a spiritual adventure Saudi Arabia sparkles. Join us on a moving journey to the historic battlefield of Uhud, where the martyrs of Islam stood firm in faith and sacrifice. Saudi Arabia, this isn't just a walk, it's a spiritual experience that connects you to the powerful legacy of the Prophet Muhammad and his brave companions. Dove, feel the weight of history. Sunrise, reflect on the lessons of courage, loyalty, and resilience. Prayer beads, a must-see for every Muslim seeking spiritual inspiration. Movie camera, filmed in stunning 4K, this video takes you through the sacred grounds, offering insights, emotions, and breathtaking views. Bell, subscribe to Adventure to Noor for more soulful journeys through Islamic history and holy sites. Thumbs up like if you felt inspired. Speech balloon, comment your thoughts or reflections. Send mail, share with friends and family who need a dose of spiritual upliftment.
The Whispering Winds of Uhud. A young traveler visits Mount Uhud and begins to hear mysterious whispers in the wind. As he climbs higher, the voices guide him to a hidden cave where he discovers a forgotten scroll recounting the bravery of the Sahaba during the Battle of Uhud. Is it a message for him today? The warrior's footsteps. A boy in modern-day Medina finds a pair of old sandals buried near Uhud. When he puts them on, he is transported back to the time of Prophet Muhammad and becomes a silent witness to the Battle of Uhud. What lessons will he carry back to his time? The Martyr's Rose. A young girl plants a rose near the graves of the martyrs at Uhud. One morning, the rose blooms in a miraculous way, revealing a story of one unknown companion whose sacrifice was never told. The rose becomes a symbol of forgotten courage. Guardian of the Mountain. A jinn who once guarded the valley of Uhud before Islam finds himself drawn to the teachings of the Prophet. When the battle breaks out, he secretly helps protect the mountain and its message of faith. Will his story ever be revealed? The Rock That Remembered. Centuries after the Battle of Uhud, an archaeologist touches a blood-stained rock on the mountain and relives the moment Hamza ibn Abdul Muttalib, Ra, became a martyr. Haunted by the visions, she seeks Islam to find peace in her heart. A Promise Beneath Uhud. Before a young companion left for battle, he made a promise to his little sister to return. He never did. 1,400 years later, a descendant of that girl finds a locket beneath Uhud with a letter meant for her. Will the promise finally be fulfilled? The Echo of Uhud. On the anniversary of the Battle of Uhud, a group of students goes camping on the mountain. As night falls, they begin to hear the sound of swords clashing and the recitation of dua echoing through the valley. But no one is there, or is there? The mountain that loved the Prophet. Inspired by the Hadith, Uhud is a mountain that loves us and we love it. A child begins to wonder, what if the mountain could speak? What would it say about the Prophet, the battle, and those who fell upon its slopes? The Hidden Journal of Uhud. A young boy exploring the mountain finds an ancient leather-bound journal buried under a stone. It once belonged to a soldier who fought in the Battle of Uhud. As he reads it, he begins to feel the struggles of the battle and learns deep lessons of patience, loss, and trust in Allah. The Lost Sword of a Martyr. A blacksmith's apprentice stumbles upon a rusted sword embedded in the mountain. When he restores it, strange dreams begin. Visions of the battle, the Prophet, and a mission yet to be fulfilled. Is it his destiny to carry on the sword-bearer's vow? The Dove of Uhud. During the Battle of Uhud, a dove protected a wounded Sahabi by shielding him with its wings. Generations later, a descendant of that Sahabi visits the mountain and is guided by a mysterious bird to an unknown corner of the battlefield, where a long-lost relic awaits. The Footprints of Faith. A young girl on a school trip to Jabal Uhud is struggling with her belief. While hiking the trails, she begins to see faint glowing footprints leading her to different battle sites. With each step, she uncovers a story of bravery and regains her faith. The Mountain's Dua. Uhud is not just a mountain, it has a soul. On the day of the battle, it wept for the Prophet and the martyrs. Now, it waits for one pure heart to come and listen. A wandering soul may finally hear its dua and awaken its secrets. The Cave of the Silent Witness. Unknown to all, a cave on Jabal Uhud silently witnessed the entire battle. Inside it, time is frozen. A child falls into it during an earthquake and is given the choice to return to his time or stay and serve in the past, forever. The Shade of Hamza, Ra. On the anniversary of the battle, a man prays near the grave of Sayyid al-Shuhada, Hamza Ra. As he sleeps beneath a tree, he dreams of meeting Hamza himself, who teaches him about courage, humility, and love for the Prophet. The Blood and the Blossom. They say wherever a martyr of Uhud fell, a rare flower blooms once every 100 years. A botanist comes to study it but discovers that the flowers only bloom for those with sincerity in their heart, and open visions of the battle. The traveler from Andalusia. Hundreds of years ago, a traveler from Muslim Spain, Andalusia, visited Medina and climbed Mount Uhud, hoping to feel closer to the Prophet. He left a mysterious box beneath a boulder, only to be found by a child who now holds the key to an ancient message. The echoing Adhan. At dawn, a shepherd hears the Adhan being called from the mountain, beautiful, powerful, yet unearthly. No one else hears it. Following the sound, he uncovers a forgotten place of worship where Sahaba once made sajda during the battle. The night the stars stopped. On the night before the Battle of Uhud, a child claims the stars froze in the sky over the mountain. His grandfather, a companion of the Prophet, tells him a secret about the heavens watching over the battlefield. The shield buried in the sand. A desert storm uncovers a glimmering shield buried at the foot of Mount Uhud. A curious traveler brings it home, only to find he is visited by dreams of the warrior who once carried it into battle. The mountain's memory. A blind man touches the rocks of Jabal Uhud and begins to see. Not the present, but the past. He sees the Prophet, the Sahaba, and the battle in vivid detail. What is Allah trying to show him, and why now? The red sand beneath Uhud. Some say the sand under Mount Uhud turns red once every 100 years. A scholar investigates and is led on a spiritual quest to understand the meaning behind this ancient sign, finding a link to the blood of the martyrs. The veil between worlds. A shepherd falls into a crevice on the mountain and wakes up in 625 CE, the year of the Battle of Uhud. Disguised as a mute servant, he moves among the companions and witnesses history firsthand. Will he return to his own time or stay behind? The forgotten flag. A young girl dreams of a red flag waving on the mountain. The next day, she insists her family take her to Jabal Uhud. There, she leads them to a forgotten relic that unlocks a deeper understanding of sacrifice and love for the Prophet. The mountain's oath. After the battle, the Prophet touched the mountain and spoke to it. Centuries later, the mountain keeps its oath, to protect those who come with love and faith. A traveler tests this legend and finds more than he expected. The last water carrier. A boy tasked with carrying water to the battlefield of Uhud disappears during the chaos. His story was never told, until his descendant finds his journal hidden in a well near the mountain. The final entry reveals a miracle. The guardian stone of Uhud. A strange rock near the mountain glows under the full moon. Locals say it protects the memories of the martyrs. When a boy places his hand on it, he gains a powerful connection to one of the fallen companions. The day Uhud shook again. During a modern-day earthquake in Medina, Jabal Uhud shakes and opens a hidden passage. Rescue workers find not rubble, but a perfectly preserved chamber with ancient Islamic artifacts and the scent of musk lingering in the air. Thanks for watch. The voice from the mountain. A deaf child touches the rock face of Jabal Uhud, and suddenly hears a voice. It's not just any voice, but the echo of a Sahabi's last dua made during the Battle of Uhud. The boy is guided to complete the companion's final wish. The lanterns of Uhud. During a lightning storm, mysterious lights are seen hovering over the battlefield of Uhud. A young girl dreams of them, and then follows them one night, discovering they are guiding her toward a hidden well with divine signs carved inside. The Prophet's tears. A man overwhelmed by grief visits Uhud to pray. He sees a vision of the Prophet Muhammad crying over the martyrs. The vision leads him to repentance, and to a new purpose in life. The Watcher on the Ridge. A Bedouin watches the Battle of Uhud from a distant hill but does not intervene. Years later, his descendant dreams of the same hill and finds a journal left behind that contains a powerful message about courage, regret, and missed faith. Thanks for watch.